technologicalists. Hopefully everyone's doing good tonight and this morning, I guess. It's 5 in the morning. Yeah, hopefully everybody's doing good. It's been awake all night, so I figured I'd see if putting this thing together helped me fall asleep. But as you can see, we have a beautiful little preamp kit. Got this off of Amazon for about $13. I think it was like $2 or $3 with tax and everything. So, yeah, just around $15. Free shipping with Amazon Prime. So, snapped this little guy up, and I was really excited. I did not expect this thing to show up in one piece. I won't lie. I was 100% completely expecting this thing to be completely trounced when I when I opened it, but amazingly enough, the tubes came. I mean, they were packed in like that. So yeah, magically actually showed up. This is actually a pretty simple kit. The design, you can see, is pretty much asymmetrical for the most part. There's a little a little change just because of the power circuit that it brings in, and so you can see the power rail comes down this side, comes in, and then pretty much everything from here on out is, gets over here, and then all of this is just kind of asymmetrical. So I think the idea is it brings the power in here, kind of basically says, okay, we're going to have a diode there, and then a load, dummy load, and then brings it across to stabilizing cap, and then feeds it into both channels. It looks like this 4-way diode here is going to act as our rectifier, which is going to provide us our alteration that we're looking for here, essentially, and then it passes through the tube here, acting as the main power transistor there. So I think what happens is it steps it up, steps the voltage up once it's done, and the idea is that it brings it up to like 28 volts, plus or minus 28 volts. And there's like the test points on the back there. So I think that's the idea behind it. I haven't been able to find any sort of diagram or anything like that that's really describes it. I found a couple of things that were close, but nothing really fitted. So we're just gonna start throwing into throwing some components in here and seeing how this all turned out. Over here so I can use my circuit board holder. always try and start with my resistors. Make sure we get those right. So we got a little pile of resistors over here and start going through them. I'm guessing by the number of the 47Ks, that should be these, even without testing and looking at them. So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's test them and make sure. I think that's how many we should have. There's my lazy tester. Yeah, that's what I thought. I guess there's quite a few. It's only 42, 47. Seems like there's a bunch of 47 of them as well. So these are 4K7 though. So this one goes here. 47 ohms go right here. That's a nice little 47R there for me. Shut off my noisy little fume extractor there. Up in the package and it doesn't all fit in right. This one's doing the same thing. There we go. test this one just to be sure. Sometimes I'll just read them because I can recognize them, but sometimes I just test them just to be safe. Because you just can't see the goddamn color codes on them. I think this is a 470. Which would go right here. It's yellow, purple, nothing? Huh. Yellow's 4. Purple's 7. So I guess the multiplier's 100? What would that be? I'm not sure on that one. That's kind of weird. No, that's right. Yeah. So it's 4, 7. Yeah, because I think if it was, we got the black in there, if it was 4.7, like, or red after it. No, it'd have the third one would be a black, because that'd be 47. Yeah, so that's why that one's just blank, because it doesn't need any. So I always test them. Still get confused sometimes. Okay, wait, no. It's like this one. This one's red, red, red. 3 reds and a red. So you know it should be either 22 or 200. So it looks like it might be a 200. So let's see. I thought red, red was, should be 2. And the second digit. So it would be 2200. This would be red, red, red. We'll see. It's either 2200 or 220, one of the two. Yeah, it's 2200. Yep. 2.2K. So which one is this one supposed to be in? Right there. I just didn't see it on the board. That's what we're looking for right there. Yep, that makes sense. And they have like a little chart you look at if you can't remember the color codes. Sometimes I look at the chart just to make sure I'm like wait a minute, is that right? Yeah. Never hurts to double check. So our next one we're going to do is 200, which should be red, black, brown. Because it's 2, 0, and then the multiplier brown, which is 10. So this one should be 200. We will double check just to make sure that our guessament is right. So we want to make a good pasta. We're going to check it. We're going to check the sauce to make sure it's a good pasta. Make a good pasta. Gotta check the sauce. And that's it. It's 200 right on. Actually, it was 196.7, but we won't trust the $20 multi-reader here. Plug it into the old Klein tool and see how exact it really is. Let's check it out. See what the old Klein tool said. Alright. Turn this baby to home. And touchy. It says 197.5 on the Klein tool. Should I trust this thing's accuracy more? So 197 works. I like using this better because it's faster. Something not even registering. She's not registering. This range. Auto range, damn you. Register on that one. We've got one that won't register. Should be 100K. I don't know why the fuck it won't read it. Stingy little bastard. Yeah, it's 100K. Why the hell won't you read that? Interesting. That's funny. My cheap little shit reader will read this resistor, but my $90 Klein tool won't. Why won't you read this? Shouldn't be that hard for you. Let's see here. Ah, there it goes. Alright, seriously, are we gonna play those stupid games here? No, we're not. There we go. There, got it. just wasn't auto ranging. 98.8. Why are you so finicky about auto ranging? Still, that tool's still kind of new to me. I haven't used it a lot yet, so. Nice upgrade from the other one I had, though, I'll tell you that. Hell of a nice upgrade. And the other one I had is a good one, but this thing is just so small and tiny and beautiful, and it's just a gorgeous little machine. Alright, so we should probably solder those in. We'll put our massive resistor on there. But I'm gonna put my capacitors and put most of my gunk on here. Or, my smaller ones. My ceramic, they're not ceramic, they're whatever the hell my carbon is. Let's see here. Damn it, what did I do with that? Oh, there it is. A tantalum capacitor. That was the tantalum. These little guys, I think, are tantalum. Because they're not ceramic, they're not polyester, they're not polycarbonate. And they're not, these are electrolytic, of course. Fits in there nicely. Realize we don't want them to fall out when we flip it over. Let it fall. There's a ton of vehicle movement outside. What are you guys doing out there? Must be my neighbor. They're up to something. Capacitors laid out. I need to get one of those little bender things from the bottom. Oh, hey Southern, how's it going? I see you there. Sorry, I was looking at the different capacitor types there. What are you up to? Yeah, just kind of D.I.Y.ing, building some stuffs. What are you up to? Yeah, I know. It took me forever to notice you. Well, you know, I mean, focused here, trying to make this a reality. Gotta stay focused to achieve your goals. You know what I'm saying? goals, focus, achieve. Things must be done in order to accomplish what we wish. You must understand, son. I am Picard, and Picard does what Picard wants. It's Picard. It's Picard. Am I still messing around with it? Yeah, man. Well, I mean, yes and no. My main focus is on other things right now. Working on trying to get a master's degree here, just so that I can act like I'm smarter than everyone else. But I'm really not. I think these are all 407s. All our diodes are 407s, aren't they? 4007s, 407. So on our board here, we can clearly see the small notch, the extra line there to indicate the negative. So we have our negative indicator there on the diode. So make sure we get our direction importance, or get our diode facing the right way, because direction is important. This specific part that I'm putting the diodes in right now is the rectifier circuit. I believe it's an AC rectifier made using rectifying bridge circuits. There's a few names for it. Using these handy dandy little diodes. Sometimes you see full bridge rectifiers or full wave rectifiers. I can't remember the name. They're like one little solid chip. Sometimes you see them with 4 diodes. It's cheaper to do it with 4 diodes. A lot cheaper. Look, I notice you, and then now you don't even respond. Typical viewer. You guys are so anxious to get noticed, and they just disappear. It's okay, don't worry. I forgive you. and then like they show like all different voltages and stuff of the capacitors that they supply, but they're all um, the same. Actually, I'm gonna hold off. I'm not gonna put these in yet. I'm gonna do a solder and trim before I do those. Do our first solder here. Now that we've got the majority of this stuff under control. Are you guys ready for this? Oh my god, it's gonna be ugly. Good loud. Oh, you're still doing hosting. Oh, yeah. You know, you're stepping into like you're basically stepping into a nuke match with a pair of boxing gloves there, my friend. Like hosting is big boy toy. That's where the big boys play, and you need millions of dollars to fuck around with hosting. Like there's like just real no good way to do it. I mean you can get into it, right? I mean yeah, like sure you can get into it, but like you're gonna be facing so much, and like these hosting companies have dedicated security teams, they have infrastructure. I mean like it's insane. Like, and especially if you want to get into doing like VPN hosting, like you're gonna have people that are gonna be trying to attack your infrastructure on a 24/7 basis. You got to be hardened and outfitted to handle that kind of thing, which means you need dedicated personnel and monitoring systems and vulnerability and penetration and all sorts of mitigation measures. I mean, it's quite the I've been there and done that. Yeah, resellers okay. Yeah, doing that's cool. Like just buying other people's hosting machines and reselling them. That works great. I do that. That's basically all I do at this point. Like if I have clients that I've made sites for that need them to stay up, then I just sell them the space or whatever. But even that, I'm kind of trying to get away from that shit. Like I wanna get into where I'm not doing any work at all and other people are doing it all for me. That's where I need to be in life. Well, that's kind of the thing is like when you get into like actually hosting that kind of stuff, that's kind of like a hardware level thing. So you got to have the systems to be able to host these, VM spheres essentially that can host the VM machines and blah blah blah. So like you can't really like I mean you can like you can rent servers and then divvy them up into like little virtual machines, but it's kind of like that's you're layering a few too deep there. You're already taking virtualized machines and then you're wanting to virtualize them again, and I mean it doesn't. You can do that and that's okay, but it's like kind of defeats the purpose. Like you want to be a first layer. You want to offer it like as a first layer type of deal. So trying to do it like through an intermediary just doesn't to me seem like what you'd want to do. I could be wrong though. I mean, maybe that's how it's done. I'm not fully up to speed in that field. I'm sure there's stuff going on that I don't know about. Just buy space from Google now. Just like, they just give you everything you need. Google is everything. Yeah, this is gonna be one of these little assholes. Huh? Being stubborn. This one's kind of got a weird through hole on it. It's got a really narrow pad contact. So it's a little awkward. But you want to get your tip to sit just right. You want your tip to sit just right. So you see, you gotta set it just right there. And then if you get it just right there, you see, it'll just work out for you. There you go, just like that. Funny angle here, keeps spinning on me. Stop you little prick. Oh, you want me to do all the work, huh? I don't think I even could actually get that kind of infrastructure to be able to divvy out to somebody else like that. I mean, at this point, like, you know, that's something that's, like I said, it's just kind of reserved for the big boys now, and Like if you want to get into it, you gotta have a lot of money, or you just gotta know the right people. It's like most things in the technology world now, whereas 10, 12 years ago you could do it yourself and really make a living doing it. Now we're getting into a world where it's being dominated by corporate giants, and the little guy just can't compete anymore. Which is sad, but it's the truth. Plus, they don't want the little man getting in the way, anyways. He's just fodder. What is going on with you? Oh, I see why these are so difficult to. Because they're touching the other one there. That's what it is. Why are those fighting me so hard? It's because this one is touching that one there. There we go. Now that should be a little better. Yeah, I mean, I can do that. I can deal with all the hosting garbage. You just let me know what you need, and I'll set up the servers, and away you go. Do you want to set up a bunch of Minecraft servers? Please tell me that's not what you're going for. I mean, it's okay, but I just think it'd be kind of funny if I just guessed it. And it's Minecraft. Like, how did he know? is tough because they got a thicker center rail. Yeah, these are going pretty quick now. Turn the iron down. It's gonna turn on. I gotta turn on the little soldering iron. My little soldering fan. Yeah, so you just need a unlimited supply of virtual private servers for your porn website hosting. I see what you're trying to get me into. I see exactly what you're trying to get me into. You heathen. Abomination of religion. Look at that. Oh, working like a dream. Look at that thing pull. I knew what you were after. I could tell from the start. So everybody starts the conversation. Oh yes, you host websites, right? Give it about 40 minutes. That's where we end up. It's no lie. People like making porn and people like making money. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a businessman. Take a business opportunities. Find out you like start a ring of Minecraft porn servers or whatever Roblox porn servers. I saw some like weird clickbait that was like Roblox. It was like one of those like scare news web pages or something, and it's like something about Roblox and underage, not safe for work content or something like that. And I'm like, what in the hell is what is the target basis for an ad like that? I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, like, who in the hell are they trying to talk to here? That's just weird. Because it almost seemed like it was like a child molester ad. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of a weird thing. Like that could be a real thing. Like you have pedophile ads where they're like pedophiles that are like trying to advertise to children through the internet through like obfuse channels, and I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucking creepy. Like I almost want to like turn this motherfucker in. Like, I don't know what's going on. I know it's not legal. It's weird shit you come across on the internet sometimes. I'm just glad that my technology streams, it's like there's no stolen content. I don't have to worry about stupid copyright errors or copyright claims. It's like, what are you gonna do? Copyright my circuit board? Seriously? Like, good luck, motherfucker. I guess this is pure creative content here. You can't touch this. So, you know, you come into my channel and you're not 18 or whatever the Twitch terms of service is, you violated the terms of service. So technically, I'm in the safe there. So. Oh, creating your own like Facebook kind of clone or something like that. So it's like kind of looks like Facebook or acts like Facebook. A couple of people that were in my software development courses at the uni when I was working on my undergrad, they wrote some stuff like that were kind of like social media platforms. So they create a server and client applications that run and manage all the underlying complexity of dealing with storage and data mitigation and all that kind of stuff. It was really cool. Like doing that kind of stuff is really fun. I miss like working in groups like that and building those big, large projects. It was always one of my favorite things to do. Oh yeah. Like we'd have got like a couple of the teams made. One team made an Instagram clone. And it only took them like it was probably like 6 or 8 weeks that the group project that we or 6 weeks I think that the group project worked on it. And so yeah, in about 6 weeks they came up with a pretty convincing Instagram clone, and it worked fairly well. I mean, you could download the app, install it. Um, but it was only for a PC though. Like they didn't have they didn't take it to. It was part of their action plan, but I don't know. I think it was just kind of like bullshit that they were feeding for the assignment. But even though it was because I think it was written in Java, but you know, I mean, it's a fun exercise. Like, yeah, it maybe not be a realistic application, but it's still fun exercise. I think that's all of them. This one needs a little more love. Alright, they look good. Them look good. Wing. Love my little home built. I made a little homemade fume extractor. It's a cool little thing. Works great. Let's see how to do. Oh, we had one that decided to climb to the moon. Not too bad. A couple of them tried to go for a ride there, it looks like. Get this guy to touch back down. Oh, you fucker. Come on, what are you doing? Stop it. I'm gonna hold this thing in place with my opposite hand. Right, that one's back under control. There was one other one that was kind of reaching for the sky there. Which one was it? This one down there. I don't think I got that one. That one's being stubborn. That's our limit. There we go. Finger away from there before I slip and burn myself. There. I could get my heat gun out too and do that if I wanted to, but I dare burning my fingers and just do it by hand. 'Cause I'm badass. I'm badass like that. That's right. I'm badass. I'm a badass motherfucker. Don't mess with me. Badass motherfucker. Badass as can be. Badass motherfucker. Don't mess with me. Badass motherfucker. Don't mess with me. I'm a badass motherfucker. Try to make sure LEDs are in the right. Put that little shit stick in, I suppose. Kinda want a waffle. I ate one for breakfast though, but I want another waffle. take the time to bend the little leggies so they're just perfect, but it's 6:30 in the morning. I'm late. I'm being lazy. Nice. How are you? Are you like advertising to your clients locally, or how do you? How do you get your? How do you compete with other hosting services? What are your tips and tricks? Tell me. Who is Obi-Wan Kenobi? Did Kaiser Soze really exist? And who is he? Is that guy Kaiser Soze? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now. I just like, but like I said, I'm kind of thinking about getting out of. I don't know. Like I'm just tired. I'm just tired of doing work, and I want other people to do it for me. So like I've gotten this point in life where now I feel like I should just have other people do my work for me. So I'm gonna like hire other people to do my work for me. Before I get too deep into putting my other components in, I'm gonna do a trim out. Oh right. Well, see that's the thing is I don't know. I have to like figure it all out, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why I haven't actually just hired someone to do it yet. Is because like I don't know. I mean, since I do it all myself, it's like I'm not sure how I would structure paying someone or deal with proper percentages of who should get what, and I mean I've never really thought about any of that, so I'd have to like I'd have to take time to structure it all and make sure it was all fair and that I wasn't going to lose money or possibly not be unsuccessful because of that, because obviously the point is you don't want to lose money when you start doing that. So I don't know. I have to set up like an entire structure. But that's kind of the thing is it's like I mean if I could offer like some online work, I mean I know there's lots of people including you that it's like oh yeah no they'd absolutely be interested in doing something like that, no question. solder some shit. Come on. Let me solder. I can't. We're still in the process here, bro. I'll shut you down real quick so you can calm yourself. Remember in life, when shit hits the fan, calm people live. In the words of the great Adam Savage, calm people live. Sometimes. was watching this documentary on TV about, NASA disasters or whatever, and it was going over the, I think it was the Discovery or the Challenger. Discovery? Yeah, the one where the booster rocket O-ring got compromised, and there's this one guy that was like telling them all not to go, and they ignored him. And a couple of my thoughts. First one was like, man, to be that guy, oh god, that'd be a terrible, like you tried to stop him and save these people, and no one would listen to you. But the other thing is, it's like the astronaut. So the shuttle explodes, the main fuel tank ruptures, and an explosion that was unbelievably massive, like breathtakingly massive. And when they recovered the fuselage of the actual shuttle and the crew fuselage, they found a few of the helmets that, and a few of the bodies, I think, as well, of some of the astronauts. I can't remember if they actually found any of them, but they did find a few of the helmets, and attached to them were these air devices. And the air device is an emergency device that the astronaut has to activate in case of an emergency. And they found 3 of them that had been activated. So think about this. I don't even know how many hundreds of thousands of gallons of rocket fuel just exploded underneath you, and you still had the wherewithal to activate your safety mechanism in an attempt to survive. Man, like, not only does that show like how incredible the American astronauts are and how much respect that they truly deserve, but I mean, like, it's just kind of a fucked up thought, because it's like, yeah, they some of them survived the initial explosion. Like, that's just gut wrenching at the same time as it is amazing. I wanted to be an astronaut for a little while, and I realized there was no way it was going to happen. Soviet America, astronauts know you. Soviet America. There we go. My caps are in there good. Hopefully my transistors don't fall out either. All my trannies in there good. I gotta lead this on there. Alright. Got some of the fun stuff down here. Tilt this so the light isn't just goring you there. Ouch. I gotta pee. I've got to pee so much. I've got to pee. Alright, 1 second, guys. I will be back. Hey, AV3, hold on. Quick break. I gotta make a bathroom break. I'll be right back. Watch my ad. Hey V3, what are you up to, by the way? Living the dream, hopefully. Kinda, maybe. Oh, goodness. You've made it all messy again, have you? Why have you done that? Why have you done that? You know what's gonna happen. You did the thing. My problem is, like, I get customers and I build shit, and then they leave me their fucking motherboard boxes, and it's like I can't throw them away. I mean, it's like you want to throw them away, but then you're like, man, if I throw this away, am I going to need it? You know, what if I got to send the motherboard back? But then in reality, you know you're not going to send the motherboard back. So, you know, you might as well just chuck it. Oh, sure, sure. Well, the only thing you need to keep is the proof of purchase. There's a little UPC code on it, and then the manual. And you can throw everything else away. Well, some people do that. I think that's silly, but some people do that. They get really finicky about the original box, and they want to, or they want to resell it, so they keep the original box to resell it. Yeah, like it makes some difference if it's used and has the original box. Makes it feel less used to them. Yeah, that is one thing. Like, so for example, like my tools. Like I keep all the original boxes for my tools, and then I put it inside its case, and then I put the case back in the original cardboard box. And people like look at me like I'm fucking weird, and I'm like, no, that's like, I bought it. It came in a box. Yeah, maybe it has a little carrying case too, but I don't want the carrying case to get dirty, so the carrying case goes back in the box, and then the box I take the box shut. like my sawzall. Like my sawzall has a little carrying bag, and it's inside the carrying bag, and the carrying bag's inside the box that it came in. You know. Right? Yeah. If the box is like destroyed. Well, some of the boxes like that I have, if I put the stuff back in it, the box gets beat up, and then I'll throw the box away at that point. But yeah, right. They sell you a box that's like. Well, the problem with fixing computer parts is, you know, Lewis Rossman is just hammering it right now on the head as far as this whole right to repair thing. And the big issue is it's just not possible for, you know, the everyday Joe Schmo to go out and get all the stuff he needs in order to try and you know, just want to try and do a basic repair, and it's like you can't buy an IC chip, or you can't buy a testing tool, or you can't buy a little data extraction tool, or a little clip piece, or, you know, stupid shit like that. Oh, I see that a lot too. People selling boxes for like the same price as the actual GPU. You know, the crazy thing is like so many people get away with that shit, and they like clearly put in the, you know, in the listing like this is a box. But to me, in that case, they're still committing fraud by listing the box for an extremely high amount because they know the box isn't worth that much, but they do it to fit into the search results as the same sellers that are selling legitimate items, which to me that's where the scam is. You know, that's where I think it should be. Kind of heavily moderated, I guess. Yeah, shipping kills you trying to send. And that's one of the big downsides to trying to sell PCs is you know, if you're trying to sell them brand new and you're marketing them as brand new, you can just get away with it. Not all the time. But there are companies that are just squeaking by selling pre-builds. Just barely squeaking by. But it's just, yeah, I mean, if you're trying to do it, and you gotta ship, you know, a considerable weight, it's just not worth it. There are much better ways to make money. Oh man, don't even get me started on the RGBers. I love them to death though. Well, some of them are fun guys, but sometimes it just gets a little too much. There's a limit to how much RGB you should do. Bah. Yeah. That's okay though. Like, that's what you want. I mean, you want to avoid people like that. If it's too much work, it's not worth the effort. Oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I was not interested. I don't know. That's what they always do. I don't know. I mean, for me, I just kind of build PCs on demand now. I stopped trying to do it proactively and make good money. It just doesn't work. You just really can't hope to profit anymore. It sucks. But it's kind of the truth, though. Well, there's a lot of different quote unquote computer repair guys out there, so just kind of depends on, you know, there's consulting, there's repair, there's data recovery, there's board level repair, there's screen swapping companies that call themselves repair companies. They're, cell phone repair companies. Basically, they swap your screen. Things like that. But there are definitely opportunities out there if you go and look for them. There's definitely stuff you can do. It just kind of depends, like, what you want to go after, really. What do you want to get into? And you're right, there are a lot of companies that really don't know what they're doing, so you kind of run into that a bit too. I try to, like, not be that company, but sometimes it's like, you know, you get busy or you're just not on top of your game and you miss something and then you make a mistake, and so sometimes to the defense of repair shops, I mean, it's easy to not have all the answers even though people expect you to. Sometimes they look like they don't know what the hell they're doing, and sometimes they just don't know what the hell they're doing. I think the train's going by. The sound of the choo-choo. doesn't do me much good, so I'm definitely gonna have to go talk. Yeah, Dell and Cider Power are so competitive. They have people so convinced their shit. Oh yeah. Yeah, until your warranty runs out, of course. I'd love to make $9.50 an hour to upgrade shit. Yeah, well, I mean, it's, work is work. So, regardless of how much you get paid or what you're doing, work is work, and it's always good to be working. And it's always good to gain experience. So that's the most important thing, is one, you're gaining experience, and two, you're working. So that's the good thing. Now, as far as the money thing, gain experience. That's the big thing. The money will come eventually, and if you got to work for somebody, that's okay. If you got to work with somebody, that's okay. Now, as far as the all-in-one thing's concerned, yeah, getting one online is sometimes sketchy, but sometimes though not. I mean, like sometimes people will, uh, you know, they'll upgrade their system and they'll get a new system, and then they'll have the older, smaller all-in-one. Just sitting around. They got to do something with it. So I mean, yeah, sometimes it's a little bit sketchy, but hey, if as long as they don't leak and the pump's not burnt out, shit, it's good to go. That's the way I see it. So that's kind of the main thing is, either, the all-in-ones will leak and then that's why people get rid of them, or the pumps die. And so, yeah, as long as they're still good, you're good to go. So I'm getting tired. I'm having difficulty focusing here. Come on, buddy. Stay focused. There you go. One solder joint at a time. You got this. There. Good body. Yes. Solder the transistors. and drop shipping nowadays, they're starting to really crack down on that stuff, especially like Amazon and eBay. So, pretty soon you're not going to be able to even do that. So you don't want to set up a business model on something that could potentially be, become a problem. So obviously, you want a business model that's not going to have issues. Yeah, I mean, you could do some website stuff. Are you good at making websites? Have you ever made a website? What are your website experience? What is your website experience? Do you understand website? Can you website? Are you from Microsoft telling me that my website is infected with my virus? I have a virus from my Microsoft, and you must log into my internet router in order to detect the virus? Please tell me, or do you know if I have the virus? I currently am not sure if I have the virus. The virus. Are you one who has of the ones with the virus? Alright. Did it. Those are all looking good. Alright, so it looks like we gotta solder in a couple more things here. I might hold off till tomorrow to do that because my back's starting to hurt. But we need to solder in our RCA, our tube, ceramic adapters, and oh yeah. Drop shipping, like you can lose your entire business really quickly. Or like for example, I had some clods that were selling kits on Amazon as DIY kits, but they were not DIY kits. I mean, it was like they were selling these pre-built ones. And the thing is like there is a DIY kit out there, and you can purchase a DIY kit that's that's similar and that is you know kind of like what you're looking for, but it's put to it's like, so they sell the DIY kit, but then they also sell the one that's like pre-assembled. And what's crazy is like the pre-assembled ones are a lot of times they're actually cheaper than the DIY kits. I don't know why, but maybe because it's a DIY kit and blah blah blah. But yeah, so long story short, they sell these kits and they market them as being what they're not and blah blah blah. Yeah, well, some people like they do stuff that it's they're selling like food products, or they're selling vendor products that are guaranteed items, you know. And that's a whole different game. But if you're doing things that are like, well, you know, who knows if you know, little Chinaman is gonna send what he says he's gonna send, and then you know you end up drop shipping it, and it turns out to be like, and then you're fucked. That's what I don't like about drop shipping, Mr. Chinaman. And then it just becomes a mystery. They're just doing mystery. Mystery with the Chinaman. Yeah, well, the problem with DIY kits is, yeah, it's kind of a niche group, and so there's not a lot. I mean, there are not a lot of people out there that are, you know, building DIY kits on a daily basis or even buying a lot of them. So, you know, the thing is, like, you'll get some for educational reasons. You'll have some people that'll come in and be like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm going to get one of these kits and maybe put it together with my kid or something, and you know that'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, for the general public though, it's like there's not a whole lot of draw to buy one of these, and so like selling this kind of stuff's really super risky too, because you never really know what these kits are going to be, and sometimes the quality is far from anything you could consider quality. You know, it's like shit. I bought a couple of these kits where I've gotten one from one seller and then turned around and picked up the same kit from another seller, and it's you know, looks the same, it's sold the same, it's marketed, it has the same pictures and everything, and it'll be like a cheaper, crappier copy of the PCB board, and then the components will be just absolute, the garbage of the garbage of components, just complete trash. And so what they do is they effectively they just copy and then they sell and they market it like as it's one of the good products, where really it's not even close. fish, gay fish. Kanye, you just don't understand. It's just a joke. If you don't get it, you don't get it. No, guys, I understand now. I, I'm a gay fish. I mean, I'm a lyrical genius. And if I don't understand it, I must just be a gay fish because I like fish dicks. No, Kanye, you just don't understand. No, guys, it's just I gotta go be where I need to be now. I'm just gonna go be what they say I am. I guess I'm just a gay fish. That was one of my favorite South Park episodes ever. Okay, Shitty Souter, you are really fucking up my game right now, and I'm not liking it at all. What is your fucking ordeal here? What in the fuck is going on? What the fuck? This solder is just pure fucking garbage. I'm gonna have to wait till I get some better solder. I can't finish this with this crap. Shouldn't even real solder. Wannabe solder. What the fuck is going on? This fucking solder. Melt, you worthless fucking piece. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're just trying to fucking pull back out. Don't you fucking even. I think it's a stupid ass fucking soldering gun too, acting up. Sometimes when I use it for a while, it'll just start doing this shit where it won't stay at temp. Yeah, it's just because I'm tired. Well, it's part of it's because I'm tired, and part of it's because I just don't feel well either. But no, this is just like really crappy solder, so it's just causing issues. See, it shouldn't be a problem to try and melt that on like that. I mean, that I shouldn't have to be fighting this hard just to. And as soon as it lays down like that, you see how it just immediately. You can just see how it immediately breaks the the solder, and that's just a sign of bad solder. Because it shouldn't do that. So what it's doing is it's coating the tip of my soldering iron with contaminants, and it's breaking the weld. Yeah. Because even when I try and retin it, it just does the same fucking thing again. And this solder should have melted 10 times over already. Just trash. Yeah, it's just garbage. I'm not even gonna waste my time with that. It's just gonna wreck the. Oh no. It's plenty hot, and that's kind of a misconception. Is like when people are soldering and they can't get it to flow sometimes like that, they'll be like, oh, well, obviously it must be because it's not hot, and so they'll start cranking it up and cranking it up and cranking it up, and then what actually happens is it just burns the PCB board. Most likely, what it is it's there's little contaminants, and so what I can do to actually fix the problem is just throw some flux down on it. And this should fix the problem. You shouldn't have had to do this, but sometimes it's necessary. Well, even with flux. This still refuses to melt in. What junk. Yeah, it can be really frustrating trying to get, especially if you're like trying to rework a solder joint or something like that. It can be really, really frustrating and really fucking annoying too, because the solder can get contaminants in it, and then it's just like you're pretty much done at that point. You know, even if you try and flux it out, sometimes you can't get it to lift, and so yeah, it can be quite the nightmare. This one's fighting me hard. You can see Yeah, you see what it's doing? Look at that. That's gorgeous. What an asshole. Got it though. Even though I was trying to be a little fucking prick, I still got it. Right. Well, but that's how you gain experiences. You know, you help your family out, and then eventually you'll be good enough to help other people out, and not have to worry about whether or not you're doing it right. But like usual, when met with a challenge, stay calm, and you will overcome the challenge. But it's yeah, it's frustrating sometimes. Oh no, that's your family. Now they always expect you to just do everything without any sort of reimbursement. Cause hey, they're family, you know. That's what they do. That one went to the moon. I tried to stop it, but unsuccessful. Alright, well that is everything except for our gotta put in our ceramic adapters for our tube and our potentiometer here. But since now I'm out of freaking good solder, I think I gotta go and look to see if I got some more hiding somewhere. But I'm gonna have to wait to finish up the other part because I am out of solder. I don't know if I have any else anywhere. If I have anywhere else. God damn, why are you fucking not going in there, you bastard? There you go. And those are the final two pieces to the puzzle. Oh, woo. Nice. I'm happy with that. I'll just have to get those guys put in here. But I think it looks great though. I think it turned out great. I will the big thing is going to be trying to find a power supply for this thing. It's going to be kind of entertaining. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just throw this junk solder away because it's just kind of worthless. But I can always use it for soldering larger copper. This is actually a preamp. So there are a couple of tubes here, and these tubes act as little amplifiers, I guess you could say, or filter controls, if you will. But essentially what it does is it allows you to control the volume, and hence you have a preamplifier, which is where the name preamp comes from. So it's a valve preamp buffer, essentially. A preamplifier. So this volume basically allows you to, or this knob basically allows you to control the volume to a standard audio amplifier. So signal comes in, signal goes out, and depending on what volume you want, I guess that's the idea behind it. I actually don't 100% know what it does either, because there's no directions or anything of that sort with it. So it's kind of like, well, we'll put it together, and if I can manage to find a power supply that works for it, then maybe it might work. Well, not too terribly hard, I don't think. You just need a controller that speaks PCI Express, and then you just have that go through a little Wi-Fi chip. Well, yeah, of course you gotta write the well, and that's kind of the thing is like if you're gonna be dealing with stuff like that with hardware, you're gonna need like ASICs and then things of that nature. Well, so it's not really software so much as it is like hardware that's designed to do a specific thing. And then once you built your hardware, then you'd actually have to like develop drivers that would recognize it and then use it in Windows, when that's where the software would come into play. So, you'd have application specific microchips which would be made to do exactly what you want. So essentially, you'd have like the hardware that runs through the ship, comes out PCI, whatever. But yeah, you're right though. Yeah, you'd have to write the actual software, the driver itself. Well, hey, Feisty Mouse, thanks for the follow there. Appreciate it. Oh, did I put a space in there? I'm sorry. No, it's bit, then coin. No, it's not proper grammar. I'm an engineer, not a linguist. Even though I did take 4 years of composition as well, does not mean that I have to spell. God. God. Spelling was not listed in my job requirements. I forgot I even had that. I forgot I have a little description there, don't I? I'll have to go in there and fix my grammar mistakes for you. Thanks for pointing it out, though. Oh no, I'm American. I'm just lazy. Yeah, that's about right. Um, you know. All right. We'll let it get away just this once. No, yeah. I got a few hundred miners going away. I think I have 400 something cards still. They keep dropping off. I've been lost a bunch of the 3 gigs recently because they went under, and some of my 4 gigs are having problems, but most of them are still cranking away. The majority of my rigs are running 8 gig anyways, so 8 gig cards anyways, so I just had a couple. I think I had like 30 of the 3 gig 1060s. So I mine a combination. So some of them are mining Ethereum, some of them are, and I run different. I run like ETH miner, Claymore miner. I run a few different miners to see which ones run. Some run better on different driver versions on different cards and with different BIOS mods and voltage mods and fucking timing tweaking and blah 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 blah. So, every card that they release is a little bit different performance tweak that you can do to it. So it just kind of depends which card I'm. But Ethereum, and then I run some of the ones that are, so like my 1060s that are 3 gig now that are too slow, or that the DAG size is too small. I have those running, just random shit coins, whatever I can get them to mine that's worth something to trade. So, but primarily it's Monero, Ethereum, and I think I have like 20 ASICs that are running Bitcoin mining, but I barely fucking make anything off that. So they're basically just wasting electricity, and the power supplies keep burning out. So I'm wasting more money buying new fucking ASIC power supplies than I am actually like gaining from using the stupid things. But yeah, I got a whole range of different things. Different, I kind of jumped headlong into it and started buying up shit here and there and building miners like crazy, and
You know, at one time I think I was mining like 20 or 30 different altcoins, just trying to like go after like the best of the best. And what's funny is like I think I probably have like 6 months worth of like random altcoins sitting in like random different wallets that need to be all dealt with, but I just never did because the market dropped off. And now I just have been focusing on Ethereum for the most part, waiting for it to skyrocket again. No, no. Well, and I don't mine with my GPUs. Don't mine BTC. Only my ASIC miners do, and you know it's kind of one of the things is where they're basically made only to mine the Bitcoin algorithm. I can't remember which one, what the algorithm that they're using is, but you know, a year ago I could have told you off the top of my head, but yeah, yeah, SHA 256. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of one of those things where for a little while it was really promising and you could make a lot of money, and I made a lot of money off of it. And I made a lot of money in the beginning too. Like I bought into Bitcoin when it was like $3 a coin, so and I bought in good too. So I made a substantial chunk off of cryptocurrency already, and now it's just kind of fucking around trying to make more money. And at this point, I could really care less as far as mining for a profit. Most of my miners mine at a 20% loss after electricity, 20 to 30% loss at this point, which is expected. A lot of people are like, "Oh, what you know, you shouldn't mine. If you're mining at a loss, you're not doing it right. Da 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 da. You know, you're not doing it." But like, if you notice, like all the YouTube videos and all the people that were like running these mining businesses, you notice how they all just disappeared?
Well, the reason is because it's not possible to mine for profit unless you get basically free electricity and you live in a cold place. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm going for is the shitcoin pump. Yep. Yep. I'm holding as long as I can. I'm a holding. Holding. Yeah, I'm gonna Lambo to the moon one of these fucking days. I swear to God. Like I'm hoping for it. I'm gonna be like I'm gonna take my like 2 cent altcoins and they're gonna go to like 50 grand a pop, and I'm gonna be the next fucking Rockefeller. Like I'm fucking crypto warbucks. Bring it on. It'll be fucking glorious. Like that's my hope, but the reality is I know it's not gonna happen. I won't get lucky twice. It is. It's a patience game, but I really don't think I'm gonna see the same like, you know, because I think I bought like 30 G's when it was like $3.27 a pop, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get that lucky again. I should have been. I should have invested. Like I could have invested like a $500,000 into it, and I fucking really kicked myself in the ass for not doing it. But in hindsight, it's like that was part of my nest egg at the time. So I mean, I couldn't just like drop a $500,000 on Bitcoin that could disappear overnight. So, because you got to remember, back then the market was really volatile. So it was like going between $3 and $1. So with your drop shipping businesses. Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of it strived is because back then, A, there wasn't as much restriction. B,
the IRS hadn't stuck their fucking nose into things, and C, there was a lot of illegal money laundering going on. Like, I won't lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a lot of cocaine money and a lot of drug money from cartels that was going through Bitcoin. I mean, it's like yeah, I'm not gonna lie and say it wasn't happening. It was. Now, what I will say is that that is not the primary reason why Bitcoin exists. And just because a couple of trillions of dollars in cocaine money happen to be laundered through Bitcoin does not mean that Bitcoin is a bad thing and is the devil's tool, like a lot of people try and say. Oh, it was terrible. The money laundering, like, well, and then Silk Road, like, Jesus. I mean, that was back when I used to do that kind of fun stuff, and man, I remember like buying shit and getting it FedEx to my house. Like, I come home from school and I'm like, well, wonder what I got in the mail today, you know? And it's just like, those were the good old days. Like, I didn't buy like illegal shit like drugs and chunks of heroin or black tar opium or shit like that, black tar heroin or opium and shit like that. Like, I wasn't doing that. No, I was doing fun stuff. Like, I was buying like custom radar jamming devices that like you can't get on the general public. You can't get them on like the real market. So you gotta like go to the black market, and like, I shit you not, like, I bought this. It was so cool, and it like it worked. It like really worked. Like, until they started using LiDAR, I never got a speeding ticket. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of the problem. Criminals are always going to use it. Which, I mean, I guess I was being a criminal by, avoiding speeding tickets. But the problem was that they were using these stupid fucking traffic cameras that were using radars that were inaccurate and popping people with tickets that weren't even speeding. And so I took it into my own hands to take away the radar's ability to tell how fast I was going. I mean, I wasn't really breaking the law because I wasn't speeding. I mean, I was just going a little bit faster. I just didn't feel like dealing with 3-mile-an-hour over tickets anymore. Yeah, Charlie Spack's coming, right? Yeah, it was just the wind at my back, exactly. No, it was actually really cool. It was like it had a couple of emitters that you'd mount kind of in your grill. And then I had a bunch of electronics that were all inside the dash, and it had all these like pre-programmed frequencies that they knew that the radar guns used for their frequency to like send and receive their broadcasting, their bandwidth. So what it would do is it would like jam the known frequencies, and so the cool thing is like when I bought it, like I got a little card that came with it, and they basically like gave me an underground connection. And the thing is like, this is long gone now. Like, this doesn't even. That's why I can talk about it now, because like this doesn't exist anymore. It's so far gone. But what was cool about it is like they give you updates, so you get like the new codes, and then you like sit there and like one by one you would like enter in each frequency code, and then like you like add it in and then go to the next one and add it in and go to the next one. So like every couple of weeks you'd have to like sit there for like 3 hours and update the thing. And what was really cool was like a couple of years ago, or about a year ago, I was watching this VinWiki show, and this dude was like talking about the exact thing that I was playing around with, and I'm like, oh my god, I actually had one of those. But yeah, now they use LiDAR, so basically like they shoot a little fucking laser at you, and it's kind of impossible to avoid. Yeah, you can do that. You can get like a but remember, like you gotta build the architecture so that it works, and then you gotta there's a lot that goes into that. You're better off I'm telling you, just save yourself the effort, and yeah, just buy a fucking PCI Express adapter. Don't waste your time. It's not worth the headache. The Tezos? No, I don't think that was it. This was if you're asking if that was the name of the jammer device. No, this was more like some circuit boards that like came with directions, and then you had to like kind of like figure out how to wire it all together. Oh, you're talking about Tezos. Oh, I see. XTZ. Oh, I thought it was like I thought that was all like one name, like a model number or something. I'm like, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I don't think I actually got into that one. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember who did that one, what that one's based on. Because I think I remember reading something about Coinbase just started to, or was gonna start trading it, or Robinhood, or somebody was gonna start trading it. That's what it was. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I'll look into that one, see if it's worth going after. I don't know. I kind of got burnt out on chasing shit coins though. Like for a while, I was all about it. I was like, that's why I said like a year ago I could have told you anything and everything. I mean, I was fucking obsessed with it. A year ago. I was so obsessed with it. Like I like stopped doing everything else and was like going full bore. And well, 2 years ago, I should say, it was 2 years ago because it was 2018. It was 2017 going into 2018. It was December. It was December 26th, December 28th, 2017. I think was when the market fell. Oh yeah, chasing ICOs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a black hole. You're chasing the white rabbit. It's like you think you got it, but then right when you get close to it, like somehow the rabbit got away. It's like Carrie Byron in MythBusters. She got fat. She's still cute, but she got thick, and there's nothing we can do about it. You know, she used to have little tiny skinny legs, and then she got thick. Now she has fat arms and chunk. But she's still Carrie Byron, and we still love her. But you can't chase ICOs. You'll end up in a cornfield somewhere without clothes, wondering how it happened. It will happen to you. Trust me. Exactly. She used to be thick, and now she's thick. God damn it! I can't believe I'm out of fucking solder. I thought I bought more solder. I'm trying to remember if I had. Oh, you know what? I did have it, but I used it. Oh, I remember what happened to it. God damn it! Now I gotta wear a whole new roll of fucking solder. Tumper dumps. Oh, tumper dumps. Hey, Link Hunter. Yeah, it's kind of like a mini boombox. why I'm doing so many audio DIYs lately. Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of like radios and you know like transmitters and all this shit. I'm not really sure. I think I'm just having a lot of fun with it right now because like I've been doing, I've done so much of like the embedded system, robotics design, C programming, web development, all that shit. I was like, you know what? I want to take like a just a full break from it and do something really different. I think that's why. Yeah. A lot of the stuff I do try and use. Oh, nice! You got some speakers out of an old sound bar. Yeah, so this is actually a tube preamp. So it's supposed to be basically like it's a volume control. I think is the idea behind it essentially. So I think the idea is like you send in your unconditioned shithole signal, and then this takes it and produces a nice, clean, amplified audio output to send to your um, amplifier. So, for example, I have a mono amplifier that doesn't have any volume control. It's just a straight input. So this you'd run, one end of the output into that, and then it would essentially be volume controlled. Oh yeah, of course, because they're just made for mid range. But that's why you just you have a So that's the next thing I think I'm gonna build, like audio wise, if I can find a DIY kit for a crossover, so that we can build some filters and like a bandpass filter or something. Have some fun with that. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? There's all sorts of weird shit I could do. Well, that just means they were ported. So there are a lot of speakers out there that will be that'll be ported, but that doesn't necessarily mean it had a subwoofer in it. It just means that it was tuned to have a bandpass port on it. So basically, what they do is they'll put a bandpass filter in there that filters out certain frequencies, and then they tune the port so that the speaker is able to I think what it is it like makes it the tuning of the port is supposed to allow those frequencies to escape, while the unfiltered band will resonate in the case or some shit. There's actually science to a bandpass case. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm with Feisty on that one. Holy shit, I bought some shit. Like, I remember one time I ordered this motherboard, and I'm not lying to you. Like it was like it was like a motherboard, and it was advertised for a laptop, and I get it, and it's like a fucking, like a 3D printed motherboard that looks like the motherboard that, like, I'm not fucking lying to you. Like, they actually sold me a fucking 3D print. And it was like, and it was funny because it was like sold as a used motherboard and like as the right model and everything. And they even like made a little shit sticker and fucking stuck it on the motherboard to like make it look like it was. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, it was so funny. Like, I almost didn't want to return it. Like, I almost wanted to keep it just for the story. It was one of those things where it was like, it was so good, it was so fucking funny that I was just like, oh, I should keep this thing. And it was just like, Oh no, but you know I had to return it right away to get my money back. But yeah, that was a good one. I think I still have a picture of it somewhere. I'll have to find that picture, post it in my Discord. That was some funny shit. Oh yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, link that baby up. Yeah, our next audio project is gonna be this little chunk right here. So I don't know if you guys can see that chunk hiding in the background. Oh yeah, we got a Class D mono block in this bitch. I think it's actually like I think this might be a dual channel 100 watt. I can't remember. Oh, make sure you link it in Discord. Oh, you don't even fucking know how really into this shit I am. Like, here's a bunch of kits. There's a kit. Here's a whole bunch more kits. Here we got some more kits here. Here's some more kits. I think here's a couple more kits. We got another kit here. Here's 4 or 5 more kits. And then I have like an entire fucking shit. I got a whole shelf load of them sitting behind me too. Oh yeah, no, that's kind of what I do when I'm not building these kits. Is I kind of break into things that I'm not supposed to. And people pay me to do it. I do a lot of like security and penetration testing stuff for companies. So they'll hire me to come in and make sure their networks are secure and stuff like that. That stuff's fun to do. That was like a radio clock or something. Yeah, it's a thing. It's actually a big problem too. People compromising cryptocurrency exchanges. Big thing that people are doing is they'll do phishing scams and gain people's cryptocurrency credentials. And so what they'll do is they'll like they'll send out emails or they'll send out different things attempting to try and trick the individual into giving them up their information, and then they accidentally do, and then the next thing you know, they're into their banking information, and they're buying coins and sending them off to a address that they have no clue. Yeah, it's a pretty serious issue. It's kind of a problem to the point where it's causing some problems in the crypto world. Like some people are kind of worried about mass adoption and the security of it. But hey, it's kind of how it is. But check this out. I thought this was a really cool little kit I got. So this is a fun one. We'll do this one pretty soon. So it's actually a little D.I.Y. Multimeter. Check that out. So you see that? So, you know, it's got everything you need to build your own little DIY multimeter. It even has a battery in it. Some little probes. Oh, this is pretty cool. I mean, I own quite a few multimeters, but I just like the fact that I can like make my own little multimeter and then use it to test like the little kits that I made. Oh, cool. Join Discord. Sweet. Good job. Yeah, if you want to post links and stuff like that or important content that I'll pay attention to after the stream, that's where you gotta post it. Because, like, I always forget to, like, go back and then I delete my Twitch chat or I refresh it and lose everything. So, yeah, Discord's where you gotta go to get me to pay attention to you for more than 15 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. Now we know who it was. Exactly. Oh yeah. The smartwatch kits. I was looking at those too. I thought about picking up one of those. I thought that'd be pretty fun. Yeah, that multimeter DIY. I'm not expecting that thing to be like the highest quality, but I have no lie bought like I think it was like a $6 multimeter from Walmart, and it's been one of the best field multimeters that I ever owned. Like I'm not lying to you. This five it was like I think it was like $6.99 at Walmart, and I used it for like 5 or 6 years and took it. I like take it out on site with me when I go out and use it to test shit, like actually using it in the real world, in the industrial world, and yeah, it worked great. So you never know. I mean, like sometimes the cheapest of cheap turns out to actually not be that bad. Yeah, seriously. Oh yeah, the DIY, the handheld game. I was gonna get that, but I thought it looked a little cheesy, and then I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll get it. And then I went to order it, and the kit that I bought, the kit that I wanted to get from the seller that I wanted to get was out of stock, so I just ended up not buying it. But that's actually one of the kits that I have not gotten yet, and I've been thinking about picking it up. Somebody else made it, and they were like, it was really stupid and cheesy. But every one of these DIY kits is pointless, stupid, and completely cheesy. So when it comes to like trying to find a justification for buying one of these parts or buying one of these kits, like just yeah, you're barking up the wrong tree there. There's no reason. There's no justification. You buy it simply to buy it. Like I own, one thing I've been trying to do is like, so I have a bunch of these guys, and they're the Velman mini kits, and so if you notice, they have a number on them. They say MK101. So far I have, I think about 75 of them. And I'm curious if like there are actually 200 and something kits in the real world. Now, whether or not they, do or do not actually exist, I don't know. That's yet to still be found out. But yeah, I'm just collecting those kits just to have them. I don't even build them. I'm just trying to get all of them, or at least get as many of them as I can. Yep, I have the DIY calculator. I actually made that one a few years back. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get it. We'll get it all set up. I'll run like a back of the van shed, half part garage, few tarps, and a couple of like, pallets on 2x4s, or better yet, we'll have pallets on like oh, let's see here. What do people throw away a lot that we could use? I don't know. I have to think about it. Pallets. Some sort of pallet. Hey, some of the cheap soldering irons aren't that bad either, but I will say, if you want to get serious about soldering iron, like the one I'm using for these streams is my cheap one. Now, I do have a Hacko. I think when I bought it, it was like 700 and something dollars. I think you can get the same one now for around like 450 or 350 bucks. But when I bought it, it was top of the line, and I have a industrial quality, professional quality Hacko hot air rework station and soldering iron. And the funny thing about it is, I've only used them about 3 times each because they're so fucking expensive that I just bought like a cheaper one to use for like all my DIY and messing around stuff. And it's like only when I'm like really working on something that needs like really good tools that I bust it out. But even then, half the time I still use my, middle grade kind of, run of the mill shit for doing all my computer and motherboard and SMD solder repair work. So it's like, replacing pins and USB charging ports on phones and stupid shit like that. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's funny because like a lot of people get all hung up about putting all this money and spending all this money on this like really high quality gear. But when it comes down to it, like if you practice on your equipment and you use your tools a lot, you'll just be good at it. And you can make even the shittiest tools do, great work. Oh, I'm sure you want to be business partners. Of course you do. Right? It's funny. It's like when all of a sudden I outfit my shop with all these great tools, suddenly like everybody wants to start working for me. It's funny how that works. Oh, what? You have a full bench station? Oh, how nice. Oh, yeah. Well, let me come work for you. And then you never actually do any work, but you just spend all like somehow you're like still in the lab every day, but you're like not doing any actual real work, but we can't figure out why, but you still never actually do any work. Yeah, I saw that DIY metal detector. I don't know how I feel about that one. I mean, it looks like it'd be kind of fun, but like that one's a little bit too gimmicky for me. I like them to have some attempt at practicality. Like just lie to me and tell me it has some actual use. I'll still fucking buy it. Even if I know you're full of shit. But when it comes to a metal detector, like, that's too much of a push for me. Oh, there you go. That's what I was thinking of. Milk crates. There you go. That's what we need to do. Set up some pallets on top of milk crates. Exactly. Well, muchachos, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. It's been a blast as always. I love doing these little kits and hanging out with you guys, but I have to get going to bed here and keep on keeping on. But I will be back. I don't know if maybe possible tomorrow or the next day we'll do another one, but we will definitely finish up. I just got to pick up some. I'm gonna have to order some solder here because I am out. Like I did, that was the last of the good solder that I had. So I'm gonna need to wait for some to come in here till we can finish out the rest of these kits. So definitely appreciate you guys coming out and. Yeah, I know, right? What is bed? Yeah, I'm literally gonna fall asleep for like 3 hours and then wake back up. It's just glorious. But yeah, until next time, keep on keeping on. You guys have a good one. Hit me up in Discord if you're bored, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Wanna know? Peace out, guys. Take care.